I spend a lot of my time talking about retirement. I'm talking like tens of thousands of hours at this point in my career. What might surprise you is that lots of that time is spent trying to talk people into retirement. I think most people assume that as a financial advisor, I'd spend lots of time telling people about some hot stock tip or why they should save more. But the best thing I can do, my highest and best use as an advisor, is to help people understand that they shouldn't wait to retire. Today, I'm going to share some of that with you. So here's the first thing: time is finite. We all have less of it than we act like we actually have. As humans, we have a natural inclination to take whatever is happening at the moment and extrapolate it out into the future. If it's like this today, it'll always be like this. I remember when my son was born. He was our first child. He was a rotten sleeper. And I remember spending lots of time in his room at night, super sleep deprived myself, rocking him and thinking, I can't believe this. Look what I've gotten myself into. 18 more years of not getting sleep. What did I sign up for? Now, as anyone with a kid older than a newborn will tell you, they eventually start sleeping through the night. But at that awful sleep deprived moment, I was taking the current circumstance and believing something like that would always be the way, simply because that's the way it was right at that moment. Eventually, he started to sleep. It worked out just fine. But at the time, it was really, really tough for me to look past what was going on. Now, how does this apply to retirement? Well, what's something that you love doing? Maybe you love going for bike rides, bicycle or motorcycle, you choose, but you just love doing it. Let's say that you're 62, you're in pretty good shape, you're still working. How many more years of bike riding do you really have? Do you have 10 years? Do you have 15 years? You don't think of it that way because you can do it now without a problem, but there will be a time, a point in the future when you can't. Don't assume that bucket list items will always just be available to you because they're available to you right now. I often talk about trading time for money. That's what we're doing while we're working. We start working, we're earning a living, we start to put away money for the future. Once you have enough money for the future, enough assets to retire, you can buy your own time back. You don't have to trade time for money anymore. You can buy the freedom of spending your life however you would like to spend it. Now, I talk a lot on the channel here about resources. When people hear me say resources, they think money. Money's not the only resource. Time, money, health, energy, attention. Those are the resources that you have available to you to spend or trade to make what you will of your life, whether it's having a family, making money, making memories, doing good for the world. However you want to measure success in your life, you will trade at least one of those resources for every breath that you take. I spent the resources of time, energy, and attention, for example, to make this video. Now, how good are you at trading time for money, for example? That'll have a major impact on when you'll be able to buy back your own freedom. A doctor, for example, has to trade a lot of time to get to the point of being a doctor up front, but then he trades comparatively little time on an hourly basis for larger sums of money, trading time for money. A waiter, on the other hand, can start earning money the day that they're hired, but they're going to have to trade more time, more hours for less money than what a doctor would. And so for everybody, the math's a little bit different, but what's the retirement trade-off? Here's what I mean. When we start out, our resources look like this. We've got an abundance of time and hopefully plenty of pretty good health. Throughout your work career, you're spending time, typically a large portion of the time you'll be here on Earth, and to some degree, you're spending your health to accumulate money. As time goes on, this happens. Your remaining time account, the time resource, and the health account are being depleted, and you're earning and saving and accumulating assets, the money resource. And then this happens. You get to enough. Enough is the point at which you can financially meet whatever remaining goals you have in your life. That, right there, that is the time to retire. But here's what happens. At that point, generally, things are going pretty well. You're probably making more money than you ever have before in your career. Your health is probably still pretty good. It's pretty solid. And so the last thing on your mind is that at some point you won't have the health to do the things you want to do. And so you do this. You work. You continue on. You work another year, another 2 years. No big deal. I'm just not ready to retire, or whatever other story it is that you tell yourself. And I get it. It's scary. It's scary for a lot of reasons. Nobody knows the future. A lot of your identity might be tied up in doing what you do for a living, what you've done for a career for the last 40 plus years. There's a million things to make the switch to retirement scary. So people keep on doing. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. That's where I'm going here. But the thing is, there's a cost to that. Here's the issue. When you really think about it, You might have 30 years or so in retirement, but they aren't all 30 years of age 60 or 65. Some of those 30 years are going to come at age 85, 90, 95, and your daily life at 90 is vastly different than your life at 65. In a typical retirement, retiring at 65, you've got 10, maybe 15 solid years of go-go retirement years, travel, activities, lots of the fun stuff, and then it starts to slow down. So if you just work for 2 more years, it's not just 2 years that you've sacrificed. It might be 20% of the time that you truly have to completely enjoy your life unencumbered by the need to earn a living and unrestrained by your health. And for what? What did you trade it for? You traded it for a larger account balance that you might not actually even use. That's a bad trade of resources. If you've gotten to enough, retire. Don't look back. Don't think twice about it. Now, the second reason why you should look at retiring right now is it's a favorable climate to retire. I talk a lot here about guaranteeing retirement income, taking a portion of your assets and buying an annuity that will generate lifetime income that, when combined with your Social Security or pension, will balance the scales. It'll allow you to meet the day-to-day bills in retirement without needing to draw from a portfolio that can fluctuate. As a result of the Federal Reserve pumping up interest rates since 2022, a single dollar invested into a lifetime annuity pays out a larger income than it has in 15 plus years. Now, let me show you what I mean. Let's say that you needed an extra $1,000 a month to shore up the budget. When interest rates were lower, let's say 4 years ago, so I'll pop this up from July of 2020, in order to generate $1,000 in monthly income guaranteed for life for a 65-year-old male, you would have required somewhere in the vicinity of $215,000. 215 grand goes in, you get $12,000 a year out guaranteed for life. Today, to generate the same amount of income, you'd need roughly $164,000. That means it's a 31% discount to what it was. It takes 31% less money to generate the same level of income as it did 4 years ago. Even if you're not going to use an annuity to generate income, if you're just going to use interest, for example, simply by virtue of interest rates being higher, you can get more income from interest-bearing investments in your portfolio for a smaller amount of money than you used to, than you could 4 years ago. You can put that to your advantage by choosing to retire now. Now, the third reason, and again, this is time and money related. Assume at age 60 you have really good health and you can remain as active as you like. Let's say that you got 20 more years of that. That gets you to 80 before you really start slowing down. That's 1,040 weeks. If you're 65, you've got 780 weeks left. Spending any more time than you need to in exchange for a paycheck that you probably don't need is the height of stupidity. I said it. It's a really bad trade. I know I talked about that earlier. Here's the thing. I know that that's scary. I've worked with a ton of people through this topic. The non-financial aspects of retirement, the potential loss of identity, the fear of what if I don't have enough. But here's the thing. Of all the people I've worked with, all the people I've spoken to, I've seen plenty of folks who look back with regret for waiting too long and wasting what could have been great years in their life. I've had no one who retired earlier than they thought come back and tell me that they regret it and that they wish that they would have continued to work. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm saying I've never heard it from somebody, and I've had a lot of these conversations. Now, as I said, I understand the scariness of the situation, but all of those things, loss of identity, do I have enough, all of that, it can all be planned for. The answer is planning, and a good financial advisor should help you with that. It's not about picking hot stocks. It's about understanding your situation and helping you make smart decisions with your money to make your life better. Now, this isn't a commercial for me. I don't have a monopoly on sound financial advice. I wish I did. I'd be so busy, things would be great. But if it's fear that's keeping you paralyzed and you continue to mark time by working and earning more, even though you may not need it, talk to someone. Not a hot stock picker. Talk to a planner who can get a good plan together for you so that you can start enjoying that retirement as soon as you possibly can. While you're here, if you enjoyed the video, check out some of the resources I got for you down below to the video. They'll help you better plan your own retirement. And if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Come back and visit us another time. We're building a nice little channel here to help people plan their retirements. While you're on the topic of planning for retirement, building a sustainable retirement income plan is one of the first things that you need to do before you retire. I'll show you how we do that right over here.